Hello, happy Wednesday, our bi-weekly Wednesday episode of the Dungeon Masters Guild feature showcase right here on Shambazzle Games. Welcoming back to the table these tremendous, wonderful, generous, professional, stupendous players. I'll stop there. That's my
what?
TPK prologue. There you go. We have a new overlay today. So if you're viewing
Now I have to look.
on
digging
live, professional. If you're viewing on live, your platform of choice, be it the Twitch, the Mixer, the YouTubes, or the Twitters, you'll see our new. This is kind of like the cast preamble, so it gives us a little bit bigger space to see your lovely faces. It gives us some a bit of a better platform to kind of chat back and forth. And of course, as we constantly continue to improve the stream and the offering of the show, we'll continue to do things like this. And eventually we'll have a slideshow with character info and all that cool stuff. Speaking of professional, but that's enough from me. You're not here to hear me blab. Let's introduce said wonderful cast. Let's go backwards today. We will start with Ryan, aka Dads and Dragons. Say hello to the people, Ryan.
Hello, all. I'm Ryan. I am the dad of Dads and Dragons, and I roleplay. I play games with my kids, and we have a podcast at dadsanddragons.com, and we just have a blast doing it, and gives me a good chance to, some dads go and coach their kids' soccer team. I play D&D, so.
That's right. And you introduced your character too, right?
And I play Drogon, a dwarven cleric of Dugmarin Brightmantle.
Indeed. Let's go to Angela, aka Pleasant Doom.
I'm Angela, Pleasant Doom on the Twitters. I am one of the hosts for Dungeons, Dinings, and Dorks, where we talk about geekery and other fun things. My character is called Glitterbomb. She's a Kenku sorcerer with very brightly colored feathers, which are currently covered and grayed out with soot.
That's right. How come?
Because she's being sneaky.
Sneaky, undercover, infiltrating the deep behind enemy lines. Sneaky. Tell us a little bit more about yourself, Nikki, aka at Chickenly Nerd.
Yes, I am at Chickenly Nerd, and I was going to work on this, and I didn't, and so it's going to be just as bad as it has been.
I think it's
at Chickenly Nerd. nerdychicken.ca. Go take a look and see if there's anything there that you'd like to buy. And check out the artists too. Amazing artists on there. And we're looking at getting even more artists, so that's very exciting. I play Cloud, Tabaxi Monk, who really doesn't seem to know too much about the world, so this is a very interesting thing to do.
Awesome. And rounding out the pack, the silver-tongued bandit himself. Let me introduce you to Dustin, aka at Just Drawn Radio.
Standing O.
Of course, welcome back. Here we go again. I am, of course, Just Drawn Radio. I do a radio show, obviously, about comic books, nerd culture, geekery, and you know what? Occasionally, why everybody could use a hero. Sometimes I do touch on stuff like mental health and autobiographical comics. As well, I do play the Artificer Muse, also known by his former title as Chiron of the Blood Scarves, which he's getting a little bit of a blast from the past, considering his current situation has involved him reliving it as he talks his way through multiple waves of goblins, apparently.
Awesome. We're slowly peeling back the layers. Very good. An exciting time ahead for sure. Quick recap. The group is currently on the trail investigating the disappearance, the abduction of the groom-to-be Devon artist from his betrothed, his intended husband, Gildus Strong, being taken apparently by a tribe of bandit goblins at the behest of what they only know as the Pretty Lady. They've tracked the trail all the way to Bridge Tree, an infested stranglehold of the goblin tribe, enlisted by the Pretty Lady to collect ransom and prevent passage to the cliffside beyond. But Not for these fine heroes. They've actually managed to smooth talk their way through the ranks of Bridgetree and now sit in the highest reaches of her limbs. So before we get started, welcome if you're just joining us. If you're new to the show, we'll tell you a little bit about what DMsGuild Feature Showcase is. Every second Wednesday, bi-weekly, we run this ongoing campaign, which features the tremendous third-party creative work of some of our wonderful community authors and Dungeon Masters Guild creators. In this case, we're playing through an adventure called Scourge of the Nightingale, which is penned by J. Corvin Stevens and JVC Perry. It's available on the DMsGuild. So if you're checking us out, by all means, please do throw us a follow. Don't be shy in chat. When we're in the game, of course, we're focused on the narrative, but we will take a moment to acknowledge everyone who helps support us in chat and, of course, has any questions. So feel free to lay them on us, and we'll make time at the end of the stream to address those as well. If you would like to help us get the word out, I would very much greatly appreciate if you just click this simple little tweet that we've pre-baked for you. One click will actually populate your Twitters, and you can just send it right from there. Help us get the word out, bring more wonderful friends into the mix. And if you want to learn about the module, you can type !module anytime, and it'll give you a reminder what I just said of the adventure that we're actually playing through and who's responsible for that great work. So, who's ready to roll some virtual dice?
I was hoping that would tell us what comes next. Oh,
I will.
I guess we'll just find out.
There's always a recap. Let's get into it then, shall we?
Let's get into it.
Last time on DMsGuild Feature Showcase, Scourge of the Nightingale. With astonishing poise and a nearly unsettling ease, Muse had led the companions on a tightrope walk of deception, up, through, and beyond the reaches of the goblin tribe's stranglehold on Bridgetree, literally dancing a tale right beneath their foolish snouts. As the tension built with all-round glowing yellowed eyes on the quartet, more than a dozen goblins seemed to have now accepted that the party was indeed dispatched to help bolster the contingent on behalf of the pretty lady. And the creatures were not so eager to alarm or displease the matron, who seems to have them all on the edge of their steps. Either way, the clock still runs against Devon's fate and his unknown whereabouts. While they seem to have identified the leader of this particular group in a mysterious spell slinger and even fooled him too, there still appears to be no sign of Devon or his true captors. Now, in the highest reaches of the Bridgetree goblin occupation, Muse, Glitterbomb, Drogon, and Cloud must continue to rely on their quick wit or pure luck to maintain their ruse long enough to find a lead to Devon's whereabouts, or at least an opportunity to make a graceful exit in hopes of reestablishing the trail to find the kidnapped groom-to-be. And as we open this session, still kind of arcing into mid to late afternoon, the commotion around Bridgetree has somewhat quieted. The spell slinger, who seems to be in command of this particular contingent of tribal goblins, now having left over the rickety suspension bridge elsewhere off into the trees beyond and the cliffside beyond your view, as you turned after having given the promise that your party was actually functionally there to bolster the ranks of the Bridgetree goblins. This knight, who seemed to be somewhat protecting the enchanter that you had befuddled or bewitched, turns to you with his rickety armor, expecting the promised repairs. And what does the future behold for this party and the allies that they expect? As he looks to you, kind of looking back and forth between Drogon and Muse.
So, Chiron, yes, let's get this one suited up a little bit better. Why don't you come with me, and we'll take a look at what you've got here. And yes, there's certainly some things we can do, I suppose. Don't you think, Chiron?
Aye, Brandon, let's make sure we fix them up nice and right.
Right. Good. Let me just get my tools then.
Ooh. The
Kind
goblin
off,
kind of
off to this.
hurries after
sorry,
you. No, go ahead. Go.
off to the side. I'm going to kind of use a little Kenku mimicry with the spell slinger's voice. Like, see that it is done.
Okay, roll a performance check for me.
Ooh.
I'm just imitating at this point.
As the goblin sort of walks after you, Drogon, he's easily sliding off the rusted bracers, completing the pack of armor that he's clearly expecting you to help maintain or repair or make better somehow.
Right. I will lead him off to some branch of this tree house that is a little more quiet and away from everything else.
Okay, as you look around the large platform that you're standing on now made even a little bit more trepidatious by the sheer height. I'll tell you a little bit about it as you kind of look around and try to find a path to get to a place that might be a little less populated to conduct the next phase of your plan. The platform you're on is a large, rough platform, and it seems to be holding a small trove of supplies amidst a small pile of wooden crates that are stacked up. Some of them dusty, some of them look a little bit more fresh. It looked like they have claw marks and sort of rough, kind of jammed in, like crowbar type distress. Somebody has obviously been able to crack into some of them, having a little bit more difficulty with others. There are a few barrels as well and some hempen sacks, and as you kind of turn around, you see the small head of a goblin almost push up over some of the hempen sacks, and these large yellow eyes kind of peek out at you. Apparently this goblin's been there the whole time, and he just pushes aside the sack and kind of climbs out. He's slighter, more slight than the rest of the goblins. 2 daggers hanging by his belt, and he kind of gives you a sheepish grin as he steps out from behind the pile. Apparently an ambush lying in wait that now is no longer necessary. And he just kind of looks around. But as you regard him for a moment, you take another look, and to the east you see a long zip line that trails downwards in a slight droop to another platform that's about 30 feet away from you. Behind you to the west, yet another platform where 2 lines, one that's kind of going up and one that's going down, to a platform that seems almost hovering magically in the air, inexplicably. And there are a couple of goblins over there too. Everywhere you look, there are at least eyes on you from 1 or 2 goblins. Heading down the ramp that spirals around Bridge Tree in the center, there is a trunk that is sort of parsed out but bold in the middle and smooth, and this seems to be kind of a primary landing. At the moment, you only see 1 knight down there, similar to the one who had handed you his armaments. As you look down, and you see a female knight that's clad in the same kind of rusted, ramshackle, mismatched plates with a long kind of white and black braid that trails around down over her shoulder down to her waist. And she's just kind of leaning on a battle axe looking out over the horizon.
By the way, that performance check that you asked for was a 13.
Yeah, so you did a pretty good replication of the apparently the taskmaster of this tribe, and the last thing you heard as he walked out, but you didn't draw the attention of any of the goblins around you immediately.
Okay, wasn't particularly looking for attention. Just practicing.
I look concerned that sound came out of you. I don't know what's going on. What are we doing?
I look to Cloud and kind of grin, and well, we're getting ready to make sure that we don't get ambushed now. Maybe, well, our companion here's fixing up some armor. You two should probably take a look around, see if we can get a scope of the land. Look for targets.
Call like a crow and kind of point towards the other platform across the zip line.
All right, to the east one or the small hovering one that's over to the west and south?
The hovering one.
Okay.
Kind of tilt my head for a question.
Mm-hmm. The slighter goblin who stepped out kind of steps over to Drogon and the knight as well and produces the 2 daggers from his belt, and he's, you gonna fix these too? and you can see they're kind of notched. They're in a sad state of repair as well. Makes you wonder what kind of threat these would have been after all.
Tetanus.
Why don't we, roll for tetanus.
Roll for tetanus.
I'm going to need a someplace with a fire and a hard rock or anvil if you've got one to work, and maybe something down on the ground, perhaps. And I glance nervously over the edge and at the zip line. Why don't you show me where we can work? I turn back and look at Muse. How much time do you need?
I'll reckon hostages and make sure we can do our best to ensure that no town guards get their hands on them before we get paid.
Right. Well, you call me if you see any of those town guards around.
You got it. I'll make sure we create a bit of a ruckus so you know what's going on.
Good. Okay then. Well, let's take a look at this. I don't know what we call it, a dagger, really, but let's take a look at this and see what we got here.
Already bored with kind of the banter back and forth and looking forward to you fixing their gear, the knight kind of elbows his way in front and pushes the slighter goblin with the daggers away and says, "Wait in line." And he turns back to you and continues to hand you like plates and these kind of collected, busted armor. He says, "Go find a place to work. Tell the rest. Armor repairs up top." He kind of like hands it to him. The other goblin kind of sheathes his daggers, looks sheepishly, and turns around and starts to make his way back down around the spiral staircase or spiral ramp to the other platforms.
I'll follow him down and just dump everything into it. And offer some choice words from use under my breath.
Fair enough. As the banter continues back and forth, you follow these two goblins down around the spiral staircase, which creak, dust falling off them and sediment. They're clearly also in ill repair. Gives you a little pause for thought as you kind of question the stability this high up in the tree limbs and bough branches. And as you make your way down, there's an arcing ramp that cuts across the spiral ramp downwards that leads to another platform, which is kind of looks like it holds some overlook. You see a goblin archer through the bending, leaning branches and trees. You just catch a glimpse of that archer looking back down over the ground, and another heftier looking goblin with another battle axe and these hide straps kind of slapped over their shoulders and chests. Just seems to be protection for the archer, if you will. As you make your way down, the smaller goblin stops once again and taps two similarly clad, beefier looking goblins, says something in goblin to them. Drogon, do you speak goblin?
I do.
No?
No.
Okay. As he just seems to usher something guttural back and forth, they both kind of turn and look at you and nod, and then they consider their own battle axe for a minute. They bark something guttural back at the small goblin. The goblin kind of nods sheepishly, and he turns back to you, and in broken common he says, "This way." And he steps back to the ramp, moving forward towards the center of the tree in this large bowl, and the other metal-clad female, knightly-looking goblin, as they kind of escort you downwards into the center of the tree. You're now about half height, and this large bowl-like carved-out section of the tree. Muse, what are you doing in this moment?
I'm going to look to Cloud, aka Nightstalker. Considering we're getting paid to make sure the hostage is safe, but before the gold exchange, maybe you should take a look around, make sure he's well protected.
Okay, I will do that.
Okay. And what are you doing then, Cloud?
Wow. I grab a hold of glitter and I guess, where else can we go? There are no lines leading from this platform. They're coming down onto this platform, right?
No, you're right. They seem to lead to other platforms to and from. They're little zip lines that seem to be ways to getting around. Also slung over the side, attached to a pitch in the center of this platform, you see a long rope that cascades all the way down, almost the full 65 feet to the bottom.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. To the the forest floor below.
Ooh. Oh.
I'm gonna point at the
leaning close. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm gonna kind of point at the floating platform and kind of tilt my head, like in question.
Okay. I lean in and whisper, "Do you have a secret name too?"
And she'll make the croak of a raven.
Okay, Raven. God. Okay. We better go do our important stuff and look over there at that platform. Right?
I'll nod.
Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna
We'll take the
our way.
Take the zipline across.
Take the zipline across.
As you make your way to the zipline, you kind of you test the post. It seems pretty taut. You trip the wire a little bit, like you kind of pluck at the wire. It gives a satisfying kind of bling as it ricochets and resonates down towards this other floating platform. There are two goblins situated on this platform. They don't seem to notice you at first, but how are you getting across this rope? Are you gonna like hand over hand it, or are you gonna try to slide? Would you prefer to use athletics or acrobatics?
Definitely, if I can.
Acrobatics for me.
Ooh. Oh, I wanna try to sling myself up so that I can walk across.
Okay, roll an acrobatics check for me.
Yeesh, what am I doing?
You said it.
As you place one clawed hand on the bulb of the post, you jump up and you manage to get your hind feet around it. You kind of check yourself, look back at Raven Beak, and slowly release your hand, and you seem like you're able to just, for a moment, you kind of waver until your tail creates that counterbalance, and you finally feel like you're stable on the rope that leads to the other platform. You start to take one careful step after the other, and seem to have no trouble making it across.
Phew.
As you near the other goblins on the platform, they kind of, one of them taps the other. They look back over your shoulder and they yell something at you in Goblin. Do you speak Goblin, Cloud?
Yes.
Slordik, they say as you kind of loosely translate it as you're also focused on walking across the rope as they yell, "Who are you? This isn't your post."
I am with the Blood Scarves, and we are coming here to make sure that everything is safe and good for the pretty lady and her captive.
Roll a deception check for me.
Oh no!
As you presumably still slowly stepping across the wire closer to the platform.
I kind of glance back at what is my deception? Oh, actually, not that bad. Oh,
Turns to the other and says, "Do you know about this?" "No. No one tells Clark anything." "Ah, right. Did you speak to Big Boss?"
Yes.
He looks over.
Yes.
Just spoke to Big Boss." "Oh, Big Boss says okay. Clark says okay." And they just kind of like turn their attention away.
Big Boss does glittery.
Yeah,
Stuff.
it sound like
Yeah.
Big Boss. She knows
Yeah.
Big Boss. And they just kind of like turn their attention back out to their posts, looking over the ground below as you slowly take your last final steps and ease down onto the platform. Glitterbomb.
Going to kind of grab my rope and tie some of it around my waist, some of it around the zip line, and just kind of basically arms around the zip line, legs around, ankles around the zip line, and just kind of slide all the way down.
Okay, go ahead and roll an acrobatics check for me, please.
Yeah, and the rope tied up so if something goes wrong, I don't fall to my death.
You have rope tied around you and the line?
Yep.
Okay, why don't you roll me a dexterity check first, just a base dexterity check, and then give me your acrobatics.
Just a straight dex check.
Yep.
Bad.
Okay.
Ah.
That's a good one to roll a 1 on. Let's see your acrobatics.
Oh, good grief. Oh!
And there we go.
As soon as your paws hit the platform, you turn back.
One extreme to the other.
And you hear those of a zip line as Glitter Bomb comes down behind you. And then Glitter Bomb, you stand, you land neatly, kind of give Cloud a nod, and fortunately you had the safety of the line to secure you, but as you look down, it's dangling from your waist off the platform and just swinging in the wind.
A couple of beak clacks and wind my rope back up and put it back.
The two goblins kind of turn around and they just step over to you now and say, "What's your purpose here then?" Yeah, what's your purpose?
Is this in Goblin or in Common?
They speak in Goblin.
We are just looking around and also offering our help if you need any, and we want to make friends.
I'm going to kind of mimic his voice again. Saying, but it sounded important. The whole "see that it is done" phrase.
Okay. You roll another performance check for me.
Oh.
She knows Big Boss. Yeah, you clearly know Big Boss too. That's a good impression. She's good at impressions. Yeah, good impressions. Do another impression. Yeah, what else you got? And they kind of seem preoccupied now with both of you. What are you doing while you seem to have them captive here on the platform?
Well, I'm looking highly confused because I don't speak Goblin.
And they're responding in only Goblin, yeah.
They want more. They want more impressions. They want to hear more.
I'm gonna repeat something that one of them said.
And they clap and kind of laugh and they share kind of jokes back and forth. I like you. Yeah, you're good. You guys are okay with us. And they just kind of like carry on with this jovial banter. Meanwhile, back in the center bowl of the tree, Drogon, you've now kind of like gotten set up there. You've met the Pole, which is the female goblin knight. She just kind of is looking over your work. She set you up with there's like a small stone table. It's the best they have. They don't really have any kind of like forge worthy implements here, but a stone table, a couple of hammers and tools, just kind of carved out benches in the middle of the trunk. What are Drogon and Muse doing here in the middle of the tree?
I'm gonna bark a couple of orders to my trusty
So you're just cutting out there. Was that just for me, or?
I heard you fine.
Want me to repeat?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Make sure you fix up that armor good and proper. If we get guards, we want to good and shiny, and it'll hold together proper for him. Meanwhile, I'm also going to kind of spy around and see if I can spot where the hostage would be located.
Okay. All right, so as you kind of turn your attention to sort of checking out the area, what specifically are you looking for and where?
Cages, alcoves, maybe chains, anything that would indicate where they may be keeping the hostage.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an investigation check for me. And Drogon, what are you doing in this moment then?
Drogon continues to inspect their armor and give disappointing clicks and size, trying to sort through it and start tinkering away and pounding out some of the dents. Peel off some flecks of rust and we'll toss them away and pull out a sharpening stone or a polishing stone to try and polish it up to make it look nice. And every now and then I'll accidentally put a hole through a breastplate or two and tell them that it's there to give them more. This will help you be cooler. It won't be so hot.
Here, nice ventilated plate mail. I love it. All right, go ahead and roll a sleight of hand check. And Muse, as you're kind of taking the moment, you've got hands behind your back. You're sort of pacing around the circumference of this large hollowed out tree trunk and taking a look around. But as best you can tell, there's nothing here that would belie that they're holding anyone or that they're equipped to secure prisoners. Nothing that you can see visually.
I'll talk to the Goblin Knight then.
Mm-hmm. You, yeah, go for it.
Just making sure we know exactly what we're doing and where we're at. Last stand is always going to be where the payday's stashed. Do we have sufficient guards there?
He just kind of scratches his head. That seems to be a lot of words. Payday?
The fancy man. Where is he being kept?
Fancy man. Oh, fancy man. Singer.
Yes. Yeah, friend.
Actor. Yeah.
Heard he can put on a good show, but he ain't carrying much of a tune nowadays, is he?
He kind of laughs with you, slaps his knee. Yeah, taking back hobgoblins, keeping the fancy man. Very fast.
Where be that hobgoblin hiding out?
Only here for a minute to trade prisoner, but no ransom, no prisoner.
Trade prisoner?
Mm-hmm.
So
they came... Huh?
Just making sure I'm following you, friend. You're saying that we're guarding the fancy man ain't here, we ain't guarding him?
No. Hobgoblins, in charge of fancy men. Very important to pretty lady. Too much for goblins. We guard tree. We guard tree real good.
And where be? So this hobgoblin fella, he's got the fancy man somewhere else.
Yeah. Yep.
Curious the pretty lady's been done sending us out here. Then is he close by, and we're just supposed to make sure we keep anyone out of your way?
You're here. And he kind of speaking to you in more broken common. Guard tree. Fix armor. Guard tree. You do a good job. Pretty lady like you too.
Pretty lady said our job was to make sure we protected the fancy man from getting snatched back by the town, though.
Hobgoblins take care of fancy men, not goblins.
Just in case we get chased off the tree, then where should we go to protect the hobgoblins?
Protect hobgoblins. Hobgoblins kick your ass, friend. And they kind of like joke back and forth, the two goblins. And as you're bantering with them, you hear, "Hey!" As you hear something coming over from Drogon's direction, and the female hobgoblin like kind of shoves you in the shoulder, Drogon. She looks down at the plate, and you've just kind of punched a rivet through the breastplate. That's not better. That's worse.
No, look, it'll keep you cool. Look, and he'll blow some air through it. Look, it's way better. Trust me.
She rips the chest plate out of your hand. She goes to rip it out of your hand, pulls it close, kind of pulls it up, and you see like the large yellow bulbous eye peering through you in the freshly punched hole. She grabs a dagger out of the hand of the slight-looking goblin. That's my dagger. Shut up. And she like puts the dagger clean, like the little stiletto, clean through the hole. She's like, stupid dwarf. And she just kind of pushes you away. She begins to strap her plate back on. She looks pretty like incensed at the fact that you've damaged her armor. The other knight stops and looks away from Muse. You say he good with armor?
Ah, friend, he's one of the best. He's the only one I trust to work with my personal weapon.
He pulls the bracers out and he kind of holds them towards Drogon. Says, fix.
Yeah, sure. Let's take a look at these here. Now, the problem with these is they're just way too long. And he'll just hit him a couple times and then bend it and snap it in half.
Not better. He turns to me. He's like, worse now. And
yeah, you need bracelets.
The other night, the female goblin like kind of pushes you away and rips the two chunks of metal out of your hand. She says, stupid dwarf, and she throws them at you.
I'll step up between the two of them and go, hey, now, my man here is one of the best armorsmiths and weaponsmiths in all of the land. If you think he can take these scraps and pieces and make them shine like the best of them. Now, are you impeaching his work? Thieves all around. The Bloodscarves chose him as our personal armorsmith.
Between Muse Drogon and the horrible aim of this like clearly badgered goblin knight, she throws it and it goes clean over your shoulder and clatters off the branches somewhere, falling well beyond into the earth below. And she just looks at you, Muse. Roll a persuasion check for me.
I don't suppose I could roll deception instead.
You can roll deception, sure.
Actually, I'll take persuasion. Sorry.
Yep, sounds good. Okay. She says she just takes her bracers off the table. She says, fine. No more armor for him. No more work. Practice on these guys. And she points to the slight goblin with the daggers, and he just raises an eyebrow and holds the daggers towards you. Hilt first. You work your way up to armor, not before. And she says, she barks at the other knight. She's like, go back to your post. Oh, okay. Fine, Piola. And he just kind of looks at you with like an eyebrow, and he kind of gives you a knowing nod. Muse as he pushes past you, makes his way back towards the ramp.
So it's just who's all in the room right now?
Yeah, how many are with us here?
Right, currently it is just you, these two other beefy kind of hide-clad sorts, the slight goblin with the two daggers, and the female goblin knight, who's now like kind of glowering at you, just trading glances back and forth.
I'll look at her and kind of give the best smile I can and go, right, sorry about that misunderstanding there, friend. We're just here to help. The pretty lady told us we need to do our best to make sure we protect the fancy lad.
Fine. Well, keep your hands to yourself. No more armor. Daggers only. And she looks at you, Drogon. She gives you like a stern finger. And she turns away and moves towards the edge of the platform, looking back out towards the horizon. She turns over her shoulder and she's, and you two, get back to work. And they both kind of look at each other. And they look at Drogon. They just gently kind of lay their 2 bucklers down on the plate, on this platform rather, and they just have battle axes over their shoulder and begin to move back towards the ramp.
I'll keep working away and glance over at Muse. Say, it seems like we might be in the wrong spots.
About agreeing there, friend. I'll go stand beside the female goblin.
Okay.
And go and just try and strike up a conversation. So the pretty voiced lady asked us to guard the fancy lad. About my understanding, though, the hobgoblins have already taken him off of here. I'm a little confused as to our orders now.
She looks over her shoulder and she says, "Don't talk, just watch."
Well,
And you speak Goblin, right?
Yeah. I believe I do.
While you're checking your language manual, Cloud and Glitterbomb still up on the platform now, kind of like in this regular kind of jovial cant with these 2 goblins who seem like completely enthralled with your joke-like nature. They've completely turned their attention away from their own jobs, which is to clearly survey the ground below to the south and west of Bridge Tree.
I say, so how's it looking up here? Everything okay?
Yeah, I guess. Kind of bored. Yeah, it's not too much to do, I guess. Pretty quiet.
We could play a game.
They look back and forth, kind of questioning. What kind of game?
I dig through my bag and bring out a piece of chalk. And I set up a graph on the floor to play X and O. X and O's with them.
Okay.
And I, you know how to play?
They look back and forth and just shake their heads at you.
Okay, I will show you, and then you have to be my friend.
The shark is okay. Yeah, okay.
Okay. I put my X on, and then I explain to them, okay, you pick spot to put an O.
Okay, as you draw it out on the platform, go ahead.
Yeah.
And I think Alt will give you a circle, I believe.
Okay, how do I get an X?
Yeah, Alt will give you a circle. We'll just call like a straight line an X. I'm not that advanced, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. So if I use the draw shape or something, or
Yeah, draw shape. Yeah, or you could do freehand actually. Yeah, do freehand. There you go, and pick a color.
I'm
I think it
watching
gives you-
intently.
Gives you your own color. Sounds good. As
Okay.
they gather around the platform.
Oh, I can barely see it. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Huh. Hmm.
So
Yeah.
you want to get 3 of your shape in a row, and you are O.
Oh. Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Oh. Yeah, it's like a circle. Just draw a circle in a box. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Oh.
Okay. The less intelligent seeming one kind of takes the chalk from you, gives it a sniff, and pushes it into the platform around the wood. Like that?
So good. So good.
He just kind of shoulders the other guy.
They are very good at this, aren't they, Raven?
Yeah, we're not too
You kind of make
stupid
a-
for goblins. So who won? Did we win?
No. Now I go, and I pick a spot where I want to put.
Well, how come
one
you
of
get
my-
2 turns?
You'll get a turn right after me. Now, you want to put an O to block me from getting 3 in a row.
Ah, like a
You
line.
see,
Hey, give
at
me
the
that.
top.
He grabs the chalk. He's like, I got it. Like that.
So good.
Okay, cool. Then I'm
Oh.
gonna do another one here.
Then I get to go.
And I got another one here. I did a line. Hey, I
You
did,
did
a
a
line.
line.
Yeah,
You are
win.
so good at this.
We win.
Uh,
We win.
Yeah, and you win. I snap off a piece of the chalk, and you win some chalk, so
Ah.
you can play again sometime.
They look back and forth, and the smart alecky one says, no. 20 gold. 20 gold is a winner's pot.
I'm gonna choose this moment to kind of I'm gonna use Muse's voice to say fancy lad. Fancy lad.
Oh,
Fancy lad.
oh,
What's that thing talking about?
well, we are supposed to be watching and protecting a fancy man.
Okay.
Do you know who that is?
A fancy man?
Yeah, for the pretty lady.
Oh, they mean prisoner. Oh, yeah, that guy? Yeah, well, you're in the wrong place for that. Anyway, you don't have to worry about it. The hobgoblin's got it under control. But that 20 gold, though, that's something I'd like to see right about
do
now.
not have 20 gold. We were playing for friendship.
Oh, no. We don't play for friendship. Yeah, no, we play
You-
for gold. You owe gold. Yeah, come on. Wise up.
I have 1 gold you can have. I don't have
Okay.
much.
We'll take that and then just do that 20 times.
I
I'm-
can't.
I'm going to sigh and pull out the little toy that Muse gave me from my pocket.
Oh, no. No.
I'm going to repeat the whole. You can sell this for a pretty penny.
She repeating Muse's ruse from last over the last hour. Okay, yeah, we can sell. Yeah, that's got to be worth about 20 gold. As he reaches for it, and we'll pause there, and we'll zap back to Muse and Drogon as you're continuing to try.
No.
Muse, as you're continuing to try and kind of crack the nut on this goblin sentinel. And she turns to you and she says, "Yeah, just keep watching. Don't talk." But as you press her a little bit more over time, she starts to open up a little bit. Okay, I guess we're here for the same purpose. Why did they send you here? Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, my apologies. Well, friend, we got orders that we needed to go protect the fancy lad in case that the town sent some of their own spell throwers and scary ones to deal with them. The Blood Scars, we're known for our ability to make sure we hold out down those hostages. Although I think we may be getting our orders a little mixed up here because we learned that the hobgoblins got them instead.
Yeah, she only trusts her most decorated henchmen for that particular job, not us.
Well, I don't know, friend. I think you're mighty trustworthy.
Thank you.
And it's a darn shame that the pretty lady isn't actually trusting you for that. I think you're destined for definitely working not only with those hobgoblins but above them.
Yeah. Well, you might be right about that. If I do one job well, not like your friend and ruining my armor, then maybe I can climb that ladder someday. But I
Well,
have to watch the woods first.
I used to run my own contingent to the Blood Scars, friend. You know what we always like to reward? Taking your own initiative.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
You've seen wild animals in the woods, right?
Yeah, of course.
Well, the biggest and the meanest and the strongest ones are the ones that always actually take the lead. They conquer. They take their land for themselves. I think you got potential to be one of those great hunters too, friend.
Well, it's hard to do when you're surrounded by these idiots. Watch the woods.
Well, how about this, friend? I could offer you a position with the Blood Scars if you want, and we can all go. We can all go speak to the hobgoblins as a crew, and we can prove that we're just as worthy of guarding the fancy lad as those big scary hobgoblins.
I don't know. Orders are orders, and mine were to stay here. Last thing I want to do is end up on that lady's chopping block. You've not seen how she treats the hobgoblins, and they're her favorite. And she
Well,
just
friend,
kinda
as a
locks her
blood
eyes.
Well, friend, as a Blood Scar, I stand in front of you. So if she's got a problem with you, she'll be dealing with me as well.
She gives you a glance.
We protect our own.
How many in your group?
Well, these are my trusted lieutenants. They're the best of the best. However, we got a couple other contingents of Blood Scars that roaming around. You'll know us by. Well, actually, if you're on one of our scouts, they'll make damn sure that they introduce themselves to you as well.
Okay, let's get down to business then. How much does it pay?
Well, friend, you're working alongside us, you get a cut of the 500 that the pretty lady promised us.
You know, like they say, boar in the bush is like not as good as having a boar to yourself.
Exactly, friend. You got Blood Scar material as already. You could either choose to split the 500 with me and my lieutenants, my armor smith, and my scouts over there, or you can split your cut with all of these goblins around. Personally, if I were you, I'd be going with the lesser skill and get a better payout.
And I come
You
with you.
You look like a smart woman.
When you're right, you're right. So I come with you, I'm in the money.
Exactly. You come with us, we go meet up with the hobgoblins, we show the pretty lady exactly how good the Blood Scars are.
You might get me killed, you know.
Well, friend, I swear on the last word that if you're going down, pretty lady's gonna have to go through me and mine first. Blood Scars honor.
Well, a little bit of jingle up front would help make my mind up.
Well, I believe that we could arrange some type of sign and bonus. What do you say? What do you think? I can either choose to give you some gold, or how about this? I impart the lost craft of the last word to you. Now, just imagine you can run around with your little sword there, or I pull out the last word, or I can teach you exactly what goes into making this.
Never seen anything like that before. She just kind of.
You ever heard of a
reaches
bark
out
and iron?
greedily. A what?
Well, there's a little bit of training that needs to go in to learn how one of these things work. But you spend a couple of fortnights with us, I turn around, fire a bullet into the center of the tree, and you can do that.
With a loud crack, the projectile flies from the muzzle of the last word, piercing into the tree, shattering shreds and splinters of bark into the air as small starlings and forest-bound birds erupt from the highest boughs of the tree into the late afternoon sky. There's an eerie quiet that immediately settles over the tree as everyone in the bowl kind of turns their attention out to the platform as well. Drogon, you hear this too, as the little goblin whose daggers you were sharpening kind of stops and looks over your shoulder. What was that?
That's the son that she's gonna be your new leader, friend.
She points over your shoulder at him and she's like, and you do well to fear it. He's like, oh, I'm plenty scared. And he looks at you, Drogon, and he's like, aren't you scared?
Nothing to be scared of here. We're all on the same side, aren't we? And Drogon holds up it really clean and shiny, and he's cast mending on it. And
on the dagger?
So on the dagger. And I've repaired it for you a little, shined it up a little bit for you too, and he tosses it over to him.
Whoa, P.O., check it out. That's nothing, right? And she looks at you, Muse. Nothing compared to what we're gonna do.
Darn Skippy, friend. We're gonna show him what bark and iron is capable of.
All right, I'm in. And with that, we'll sweep back up to the platform as the argument is getting heated now. And with a loud crack, you hear a bang that resonates throughout the tree, Glitter, Cloud, and these two goblins. And they freeze, almost reaching out for the trinket that Glitterbomb is offering forward. And he kind of rips it from your hand, or he tries to rip it out of your hand.
Actually, before that, Cloud is not having that and wants to. I am going to interject myself in between the goblins and Glitterbomb.
Okay. Just kind of stepping in between?
Yeah, I don't want them to even come close to touching her or...
Sounds good. Glitter, why don't you make an escape roll with advantage? That'll be your athletics, or sorry, your acrobatics or athletics, your choice.
Oh, me?
Yep.
All right. That'll do. I'll do acrobatic.
Okay.
Ah!
With advantage? Okay. As the
advantage,
greedy
okay,
yeah,
yay.
with advantage. As the greedy hand kind of reaches for the glowing trinket almost in slow motion, he's enraptured by the glistening metals. Cloud just pushes his hand aside, and Cloud, you're now standing firmly between them, and he looks at you. Hey, what's that all about? We won!
Friends do not grab, and that does not belong to you. That belongs Raven.
Kind of looks at the other one. Well, we won it fair and square. You know, I'm kind of more concerned about that noise, though.
That was a loud noise.
I'm
he's
going
lost
to mimic
interest
the
in
noise,
trinket.
but not quite so loudly.
Bang, bang.
As she clacks. All right, cut it out. Jeez, leave him alone. I want the toy thing. And they start to go back to arguing. They clearly are very quick to kind of get engaged with one another, and they almost forget you entirely, Cloud, having narrowly diffused the situation for the moment.
I'm going to kind of nod my head at the return zip line.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cloud looks like
Yes.
she's in agreement. All right, go ahead and both of you roll acrobatics checks as you make your way back towards the zip line.
Can I try to do the rope thing again real quick?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that'll be a dexterity check followed by your acrobatics check.
Maybe this one will be better.
I am not that smart.
No!
No, she cannot tie a rope.
Apparently.
Those feather hands.
Oh,
There
God.
you go. It's all right. As you both start to make your way across the rope, you're feeling pretty confident. Glitterbomb kind of heading up a little bit ahead. She's just about 10, 15 feet ahead of you, Cloud. And as you slowly kind of grip onto the rope on all fours and try to make your way across, you're jolted as a vibration shakes the rope, and you look just over your shoulder enough to see the goblin just blink, plicking at the rope, blink, making it more and more difficult, and your grip begins to falter and slip. You look up just in time to see Glitterbomb almost wrap around the rope, her body starting to twist and contort as she begins to fall. But in that same moment, Drogon, Muse, and your new found groupie She turns to you and says, "Yeah, all right. I'll get that other idiot to watch my post, and maybe we can talk about how to get closer to the real business."
That's about right. Solid, friend.
All right.
Do I see Glitterbomb and Cloud in trouble, or?
Not quite yet, but roll up. She starts to kind of trudge off ahead of you, and she just pauses to offer a brief, brutish sneer to the slight little goblin who's almost trembling at you, Drogon, as you kind of disregard him entirely. And she begins to make her way up the ramp towards the top platform. She quickly scurries out of your sight. She pushes the other two brutish-looking ones on top of the platform out of the way. "Move aside! I don't have time for you!" And she's clearly spurred on by this renewed bolstering of her ego as she clods up the tree.
I'll follow behind and signal to Drogon to follow.
Okay.
All right, friend. Looks like we better skedaddle and make sure we're doing our part here as well.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
Okay. As you step back onto the ramp, make your way up, the dagger-wielding goblin is just kind of testing the way, clearly enthralled by his new weapons, and maybe a little bit more relaxed, being the only one now here, no longer being bossed around. As you both start to make your way up the platform, you do hear some laughter, and I'll get you both to roll a perception check for me, please. Okay, as you're heading back up towards the ramp, you're kind of laser focused on this now, seeing the exit lights as you kind of stomp up towards the final platform again. Now the piles of looted goods seemingly there, and the Pio, the female goblin that you seem to have befriended, exchanged some harsh words with the knight, who now is like his armor's kind of like falling off, clearly disheveled, sitting on a barrel. She says, "You take over down there on the trunk platform. Don't take your eyes off that bridge. We've got other work to do. Big business. Orders straight from the top." And he just kind of looks at her and he's like, "Yeah, Pio, okay." And he kind of nods at you both. He says, he looks at Drogon as he walks by. He's like, "Maybe you can finish this later?"
Yeah, I'll take a look at that later. You got it.
Okay. As he kind of makes his way back down to the platform and replaces where Pio was previously positioned, leaving the three of you now alone on the top platform. Cloud and Glitterbomb, roll a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
Oh!
Nice.
Okay, as you both just narrowly managed to get your grip around the rope, now hanging and swinging in the trees, Drogon and Muse, you now definitely hear the clattering of branches as they're like rustling against the trees, dropping leaves that start to float in a helicopter, slowly gliding to the ground, and you hear the snickering and the chittering of goblin laughter coming from across the platform. It draws your attention, and you see Cloud and Glitterbomb desperately hanging onto the zip line, their feet dangling 55, 60 feet below to the ground, barely keeping their grip. And at the other end of the rope, this goblin sneering at them, just like ripping at the cord, like trying to shock and create reverberations to get them to drop their grip. One of them kind of pushes aside and produces a dagger and slowly begins to work on the zip line.
I want to go back. I let out a big howl of anger, and I want to work my way back over to the goblin.
Okay. Hand over hand, you begin to start to scale back towards the goblin. You all witness this. Cloud, go ahead and roll an acrobatics check for me, please. Sorry, it will be athletics for this, because now you're hand over hand.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You got your inspiration die.
I might need it.
Good reminder.
Okay, I'm gonna have to use that.
Okay. Yep, Muse?
Question.
Yep.
Does Muse see the rope held by Glitterbomb?
Yes, you're witnessing all this now. They have your attention as you see your companions desperately hanging on.
Cool. I'm gonna curse under my breath. Oh hells! And look to my new groupie. I gotta save my companions from your underlings. Do you get your house in order? I'll get mine in order.
She just kind of nods and she yells over, "Hey, what are you doing?" And the echoes over the trees. Cloud, go ahead and roll your second athletics check as you hand over hand.
I had one more thing up my sleeve.
Yeah, sure.
I've got one infusion left in the tank, and I can infuse Glitterbomb's rope to become a rope of climbing.
Oh, the rope that's around her waist?
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, it's tied to her waist. It's dangling down about 50 feet below at the moment.
I can infuse it to become a rope of climbing.
Okay. Do you have to reach it or interact with it in any way?
According to the Eberron handbook, no, but I will leave it to your judgment.
Are you able to link it for me?
Yes.
Okay. In the
I'll
meantime,
drop
Cloud,
it
is
in.
your like hand over hand, you're making your way back towards the platform, and the goblin just sees you coming and starts to furiously pick up speed. The other one's kind of like nudging him as the orders are being barked from the knight on the other side of the platform who's accompanying Drogon and Muse.
I would like to be able to launch myself at some point at the one that's picking at the line, but if I can't, that's
Yeah, no, you have a
understandable.
roll to easily make it across as he picks up speed, is trying to cut the zip line, but you're closing, locked in on him. Now your hand movements become more rapid as you're flying across the rope, and you pull on it at the last minute, launch yourself into the air, and you're going for the one who's cutting at the rope.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. And what are you trying to do? Trying to like grapple him?
I'm just trying to, I'm trying to bowl him over. I want him to stop cutting at the rope, right? But
Okay, sure. Go ahead and roll an athletics check, which is a grapple attack.
ooh,
Nice. I don't think he's going to. Oh, a natural 20 on his dexterity check. As you do pull him off the rope, but he just sidesteps you at the moment as you launch your body through the air and come to a roll. Your claws digging into the platform, carving grooves into them that just stop you short of falling off the other edge. But you're now on the other side as you look locked in on him. He kind of turns to you, surprised looking, but they've been dissuaded at the moment. Give me a quick second.
I yell at him in Goblin. Stop being mean. We are friends.
Okay, Muse, I'll go ahead and give you your infusion on the rope, which becomes a rope of climbing. Glitterbomb, as you're looking down at the rope that's coiled around your waist, you see it begin to almost start to knot on itself. It begins to shunt together, forming knots and handholds on the rope. And I will have to look up rope of climbing very quickly. Give me a quick moment. But
I'll paste it for you.
The two goblins like freeze in fear at you, Cloud, as you're kind of snarling back and forth, and they just kind of back off. Between that, the yelling and the barking from their clearly their superior on the platform across the way. Go ahead and roll a intimidation check for me with advantage, please.
Ooh, advantage. Don't know how intimidating I am though. Ugh.
Enough that they kind of pause, but you see them both like start to kind of go shoulder to shoulder with one another, and they start to snarl. Another bark comes across. I mean it, you two! Knock it off! Is rope of climbing in the SRD by any chance?
Um,
No. Let me just grab some here real quick.
see if I can find the right page for you. Basic rules, page 197.
197 Player's Handbook?
According to Google, yes.
Uh, 197.
Here. Sorry, guys.
You got it.
No worries.
I didn't want anyone to get splatted.
No,
Oh, gosh.
It's a good call. It's a good call. Let's see.
I'm good not
Yeah,
being
yeah.
splatted.
That's right. Mm-mm. This is the equivalent of me flipping through a book. Do you know offhand what rope of climbing is, Muse?
Yeah, I posted it in the Discord.
Oh, you did? Ah,
Yep.
that's where.
Sorry.
Weehoo!
Figure D&D Beyond is as close as I can get to finding one to make it easy for you.
Yes. Okay, as a bonus action, you can command the other end to move toward a destination you choose, which would be for you, Muse. Yeah, so go ahead.
I'll instruct the rope of climbing to basically make sure secure itself to make sure Glitterbomb and Cloud can get back to us safely. And at the same time, I yell, "Hey, you two, back here!"
Okay, so you
Glitter-
hear this, and Glitter, you feel the tug at your waist as the rope magically starts to snake up and coil around the rope that you're hanging from. And I'll get you to go ahead and make your athletics check with advantage, please. To
Okay.
regain your command over the rope.
Athletics with advantage. Oof. I'm glad there's advantage.
Oh. Enough to barely hang on, but you can't seem to move, but you feel like you're okay. You look at Muse as Glitterbomb is struggling to try and regain her grip, and her fingers are just starting to uncoil around the rope that's holding her, slipping more and more until they slip off the rope. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw for me, Glitterbomb. Cloud,
Oh no.
Cloud, what are you doing as this is happening?
Oh no.
You look over the shoulder between the two goblins and just see the last moments as Glitterbomb's finger slide off the rope. She falls a full 50 feet until Glitterbomb, you feel a sharp jerk around your waist as the magical rope fastens, holds tight, but I'm going to get you to roll another dexterity saving throw for me, please. Nice.
Yeah, my command to
20.
the rope is save Glitterbomb.
Sounds good. Glitterbomb, you do suffer 8 points of damage, though, as the rope rips you. You feel like a crack and a pull that
Ow.
in your eyes, your vision goes black for a brief moment, and as a concussive compression fills your ears before your eyes fly back into focus, and you just see the ground below you, like just about 20 feet from your beak as you're dangling. Cloud, what are you doing?
I run over to the edge of the platform and look down,
You see
yelling.
she's about halfway to 3/4 of the way across to the other platform, and you just see her kind of like shake her head.
You are
And vomit.
okay?
I'm going to vomit because it is wrapped around my middle.
Nice.
Blech. Drogon, what are you doing?
Are those other goblins trying to? Are they messing? Are they attacking Cloud or anything like that?
No, they just seem like they're kind of shocked right now. They're holding back. They don't seem like they're terribly aggressive. This outcome
okay.
seems to be even a little bit more than they were expecting.
Okay. And the only goblin up by us is her name is Peely.
Pilo.
Peel.
Pio, sorry.
Pilo.
Yeah, Pio.
Okay. Jeez, is there any way to get to Glitter without climbing out on that rope?
Not really. You can't quite reach the rope.
The rope is slowly bringing her back.
There you go. As Muse commands the rope, and the rope is starting to coil around itself. 40 feet, 30 feet, 20 feet, 10 feet, until it's back up to the zip line across.
I call out, Night Stalker, get Raven back here now.
Yeah. I turn on the two goblins and I say, "We are not friends." And I start back out onto the rope again.
They just kind of seize up and slowly back away as you make a bolt for the rope. Go ahead and roll your acrobatics check, please. Or if you're zipping, it's acrobatics. If you're climbing, it's athletics. So I'm assuming you're going for acrobatics in this case.
Acrobatics, yeah.
Gotcha.
I want to get to her quickly, so.
Yeah. Your
Not
claws
playing
wrap
any
around the
games.
zip line, what's left of it, and you just slide with a mighty push off the platform and glide towards the rope, coming to a quick stop with one arm around Glitterbomb as you both continue to make your way the last 10 feet across the platform. Either of you feel free to roll an acrobatics check with advantage.
I will, since I'm kind of doing the... Oh my god.
Okay, you swing and you give a strong push at Glitterbomb's back, and she slides the rest of the 10 feet away and continue to move and kick your feet, gaining new momentum that pulls you the rest of the way to the zip line, crashing, but stable on the platform on the other side. The knight, Pio kind of looks between you all and looks over at the goblin, and she says, "Reprimands, don't move. Stay there. We're not finished." She looks at you, Muse, and she says, "Disobedience. These goblins will never learn. We're all better than that, I think, right?" And she kind of looks around to the rest of the companions with a very much like a, "It's cool. I'm one of you. I'm one of you."
I'm going to make the most pathetic Raven croak ever.
Oh, I am over there, like, patting your head and just... Oh, you are okay?
A little bit of a whistle.
Oh.
Blood scars protect our own. Night Stalker. Check her to make sure she's going to be all right. We'll tend to her properly once we have a chance to get moving. I turn to Kilo. This is going to slow us down a bit.
Yeah, you're right. We should get out of here before any of these other idiots mess it up for us. All right, come on.
Right.
And she kind of moves towards the suspension bridge and nods to you all.
Night Stalker, make sure Raven can walk.
Yeah, I help her to her feet and sort of push the rope off of her.
I'll kind of very. I'm hurting, so I'm just gonna kind of slowly pick up the rope and start coiling it up. I'm looking at it really confused, like I don't know what just happened, but I don't care. I'm alive.
It is magic rope? I'm looking at it with you. What? How did you do that?
A little bit of a holdout trick.
Oh, it was you.
Pio kind
Okay,
of nods with approval as well.
I help her gather up the rope, and then I kind of get her to lean against me as we walk.
I will very much lean on you.
All right, Pio kind of, with increased urgency, is kind of ushering you across the suspension bridge. She looks at you, Muse, and she says, "Hey, you know, if she's gonna slow us down, maybe we ought to..."
Best not take that route, friend. Here with Blood Scars, we never leave one of our own behind.
Right. Yeah.
That's why we're
You
strong.
mentioned that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Pio's strong, too.
We're
You
looking
okay?
forward to
She nods to Glitterbomb.
Kind of make a crow's caw.
Okay, yeah.
Little
We-
nod.
We look after our own. Yeah. And she just kind of starts to charge across the suspension bridge like she's leading, clouding about 10 feet ahead of you.
As she starts to go ahead, I'll tell Cloud to watch out for anybody coming up behind us and leave glitter bomb to me. And as Muse and Pio start walking ahead, I'll cast Cure Wounds on glitter bomb while Pio's not looking at us. While she's distracted.
All right.
That would be helpful.
She's 10 feet ahead. She's not even looking back. Go ahead and make your roll. She's not looking at you guys at all.
There you go.
Nice.
I will take it.
As you kind of move slowly across the suspension bridge one at a time, Drogon sending infusing warm healing energy back to you, Glitterbomb, you immediately feel a little bit better. The cramping and the bruising that you can feel beneath your tufts of feathers start to subside. You can stand a little more straight. Your cant becomes a little more steady as you no longer really need to lean on Cloud, though thankful for the help, I'm sure. And before long, you're all on the other side of the bridge, staring into the beyond of the Cormanthor forest on the other side of the cliff. Cloud, roll a perception check for me, please.
Okay. Perception. 14.
Good stuff. As you just casually cast a glance over your shoulder to make sure that you're not being pursued. As best you can tell, for the time being, there's no one following you.
As we walk, I am kind of circling around Glitter Bomb, kind of an agitated way, and sometimes like butting my head up against her, like, ooh, like, checking on her to make sure she's okay.
Kind of sneak a pet at your head. Just pet.
Okay, Pio kind of pauses every now and then, looks behind. She says, "This way. We can rest up at the camp."
All right, lead the way, friend.
All right. Yeah, I'm leading. Yeah, I got it. She just kind of storms off. She's keeping about 10, 15 feet ahead of you, as the rest of you fall in behind to kind of follow suit. And over the short bridge, and it's rickety swinging, the tribulations that had befallen you at Bridge Tree, or perhaps that you had levied on the Bridge Tree goblins in the rear view. You continue to make your way through the forest, which now has kind of funneled down to a small beaten path, not quite as well traversed or planned as the road that led you here. The stone and dirt road, the wide swath of road is no longer existent. It's now just patchy, long forest grass, nettles, leaves that are planked down on a dirt road that's very narrow at times. Again, you hear just the only thing that remains of your time in Bridge Tree is the ambient sound of the raging river that encompassed the great oak leaning. But after about 30 minutes or so, Pio kind of stops and says, "Okay, off the road for the rest." And she just steps into the woods and out of sight.
I follow. I give a kind of quick gesture to the others and to follow along.
Okay. And what's your marching order as you make your way off the road, off this little path, really? It's not a road, and into the woods.
I'll take point after Glitter Bomb's near fatal splatting.
Mm-hmm.
I want nothing bad happening to her.
Okay.
I guess I'll take up the rear and I'll keep an eye out behind us to make sure that there's nothing sneaking up on us or coming from that direction.
Okay.
Yeah, keep an eye out for ambushers.
I'm probably right behind Drogon.
Okay. We've got Cloud on rear guard, Muse on point. So we're going Muse, Drogon, Glitterbomb, and then Cloud?
Yeah.
Okay. Bear with me a quick second here.
Like I said, I'm occasionally kind of nudging at Glitterbomb to check on her.
All right, as you continue to travel, you step off the road into the woods, and you see Pio kind of turning around. She's getting a little bit annoyed now because she knows the way you don't, and she kind of like ducks between the bushes and brambles, the low foliage of the Cormanthor, the tree line now becoming thickening and darkening the day out artificially as she steps into a small trench that's dug out about 4.5 feet low. Her head is just barely skimming the top line of this trench that's dug out in a snaking avenue that seems to travel a parallel in the road, but about 15 feet in wood. The rest of you, as you step down into the trench, it only comes up to about your chest as you continue to follow along behind. What's the...
It's probably a little higher on me because I'm 4'8".
Right, so your vision is a little bit more eclipsed by the edge of this dirt trench, and it looks like
Yeah,
it's very roughly hewn. There's small bits of water gathering in the bottom. Sorry, go ahead, Glitterball.
No, I was gonna just say I'm a little on the small side even for a Kenku.
Slight and fortunately snuggled in the middle of the train here as we continue to traverse down this trench. Pio taking a commanding lead, clearly having walked these miles many times, as she continues to walk forward. And as you crest over the top of the cliff about a half an hour later on foot, after what's shaping up to be a relatively long march, leading onward, you immediately see through the woods as things start to clear and the branches begin to thin. A slapped together camp in the distance seems to have previously housed the small contingent of goblin raiders. As you draw closer, you're about 120 feet out. But
Is there any movement up at the camp?
Muse on point. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me, please.
Got it.
Okay, good stuff. And what's the duration on your infusion?
Creates permanent, I believe.
I think it lasts all day.
I think the infusion lasts until you try to make another infusion, or until you go and choose to remove it.
Yeah.
Gotcha, okay. I will roll with that. I clearly need to read up on artificers a little bit more. It's 3 infusions you have, right?
Yes.
Do you pick them in advance, right?
Yep. Prep them at the beginning of each long rest.
At the beginning of each long rest. Okay, gotcha. Cool. Very nice. Okay, but as you're trudging along, the wear and the day is really starting to wane on you. Your eyes are starting to lose a little bit of focus. You kind of push a knuckle into one of them to rub away some of the the fatigue, and you don't really see anything moving too much. As you continue to move forward, Drogon, I'll get you to roll a perception check as well. And Cloud, I'll get you to roll one too, please.
Okay.
What do these dwarven eyes see? Nothing.
Nice. No, you guys are, but you know what? You've been through a lot, and the road is definitely taking its toll. You can almost feel the aching creeping into your body. You're not as focused as you were. In fact, maybe a little bit challenging to consider that you might be putting a lot of faith into this tiny goblin knight who's now leading you back to her camp. And as you continue to push forward, you get about 30 feet, 20 feet. And as the trees begin to open, you see that this is clearly a camp that seems to have previously housed the contingent from Bridge Tree. There's a central wooden shack that seems to uprise from the center, slapped together and leaning very haphazardly and quickly built. It's surrounded by about a half a dozen leaning, tattered tents. There are untethered doors flapping noisily in the wind, which now is the first thing that really piques your interest as you know how close you are in proximity. You check yourselves clearly. Too late to really do anything about it if there was any other kind of ulterior being that would wish you harm. Dust is being strewn all around the camp with a small spattering of still burning embers embers rather from a waning campfire that's just in the center before this shack. And now you do see a couple of goblins kind of milling about in the camp as Pio raises a hand and says, "My friends, my brothers." She addresses them as she comes out of the camp. They kind of turn and say, "Pio?" "Yes, I brought friends. Good friends from Bridge Tree and good people." And then you freeze for a moment at the edge of the forest as you hear the familiar hissing sound. "What?" As the slapped together plank door slaps open, breaking in the wind, not breaking, but slamming in the wind against the side of the wooden shack as the hooded, cloaked figure pokes his head out, still shrouded by the darkness. "Pio, who have you brought?" "My new friends, Bloodscarves." Grinning ear to ear as you all kind of compact on one another in a sudden abrupt stop at the edge of the camp. The robed figure looks up and says, "Excellent. Saves me the trouble." As you step forward into the camp at the very edge, the figure steps out slowly and with a hand waves as the door to the shelter closes behind him. He points towards you and says, "They are not your friends. They are not at all what they seem." And I'll pause for a moment there. These folks are actually looking this way. And we will put our friend Pio in front, excitedly announcing your arrival to our companions in the camp. And we have Hughes, followed by
Drogon.
Right. And then Glitterbomb.
Yep.
And Cloud in rear guard. And as that moment of, "oh shit," washes over you, "they are not at all what they seem. We've heard back from our cohort. They were expecting no bandits. Destroy these traitors." And I'll get everyone to roll initiative for me, please.
Oh my.
Uh-oh.
Be sure to click your
Oh, darn it.
token and then roll your initiative to put you on the track there.
That means I have to roll it again, don't I?
If you haven't, we can do it manually. It's all good.
Yeah, because I forgot to click my token first.
Did mine take? I did click on it, but for some reason it didn't, did it?
I think I see
don't
yours on
think
there.
It would be nice to go first one of these times.
Oh, you know what? I see why.
All
All
right.
right.
We've got Drogon on the board. We've got Muse on the board. We have Cloud with a 16. So go ahead and click and roll your initiative, Cloud.
Okay.
Okay. And do the same Glitter Bomb. And your original initiative was 14?
Yep.
Okay. There we go.
Before the fight breaks out, can I talk to Pilo for take a bonus action? Talk to Pilo.
Free action to shout a quick command if you like.
Okay. Pilo, this is where you prove that you can choose to be a Bloodscarf or you can be a follower. I pull off my red scarf and I hold it out.
Okay. That's your free action. In the moment, you'll have to use an action if you want to actually try to convince her to join you
Okay.
at this juncture. Sound good?
No problem.
Okay.
I'm basically making this up as I go along.
I did get that impression. It's worked so far, but now thrown into the throes of combat, bearing down the enchanter who you had previously hoodwinked, and a small contingent of goblins who don't seem at this point so willing to accept the ruse. One of the goblin raiders rushes forward towards you. Rushing past Pio, making a beeline straight towards Muse, the focus of its master's intent, and ripping out a great axe as he swings wildly through the forest, wind crashing down towards you for a 20 to hit, Muse.
Hit.
And deals 11 damage as a great axe crashes into you. Cloud, it's your turn. Glitterbomb, you're up next.
Okay, let's see. I think. Okay, that can double your speed until the end of your turn. Okay. So, oof. Let's see. 15, 20, 25, 30. So would this be difficult terrain in where the wooded area is? Do you
No,
think?
you're just on the edge.
Okay.
You've kind of broken through the tree line now. You're into the camp. But your time is ticking.
Yes. Sorry.
The battle rages on.
Okay. I'm gonna run over here.
Okay.
And take an attack with my short sword.
Mhm.
Just don't know my stuff as well as I want to.
Are you able to? You have short sword on your thing? Yep. That's your attack. As he finishes slicing into Muse, he turns the flat of his great axe up and just bangs the short sword aside and snares at you.
Okay.
Anything
But I'm
else?
going to spend a key point
Uh-huh.
and do a flurry of blows,
Okay.
Nice.
Go right ahead.
which is exciting.
Yep.
I've never done before. So I can take 2 more unarmed
Unarmed. Yep.
attacks, right?
Yep.
Oh my God, you are
Okay.
turning on me.
And roll your second. All right, is your first,
16?
he ducks under your first fist, but you spin around, or you describe your attacks, actually. You go ahead and describe your attacks. The first one misses. What's your second attack?
I liked it what you were saying. It
Okay.
sounded
okay.
good.
As you
It's
turn
like
around with a
attacks
hammer
under-
fist, your knuckles crash into the side of its head. Go ahead and roll your damage for the unarmed claws. Oh, just click unarmed claws, the word unarmed claws in your roll result in chat.
Okay, yeah, that's what I... What the heck?
Would it give you another roll?
Yeah, it just keeps on doing that. I thought if I clicked on the actual damage... What is it doing? It was doing it
You're just
before.
rolling it again.
Yeah.
These are good
Yeah, I
rolls.
know.
though. Keep
Yeah,
these,
yeah. Don't waste your good rolls. Give me a second here. Okay, so
for
if
some
you
reason it's not...
so if you click on
You're still
oh,
raging.
and you're still raging. Here, I'm gonna
Oh my
fix it up
gosh,
real
why
quick
am
for
I
a sec
raging?
here. Give me a quick minute here.
I don't know what's going on. It was doing it before. It would roll my damage when I...
Yeah.
Yeah, mine did that
okay.
last time. It rolled both.
No, you're
I
all
wonder what I
good.
clicked on.
I wonder if you have a global. That's weird.
That's
it's
weird.
not unarmed claws, right? Sorry, I'm just bear with me a second here and check this out.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know why it's still giving you rage damage. That's weird.
I even went through and looked to see, but I can't see anywhere where it should be adding rage.
Yeah, it's a global.
I also don't know my way around here very well either.
Yeah, don't sweat that. I'll double check that, but go ahead and I'll give you the option. You can either take the damage that I rolled, the first one, or you can roll your own.
That's fine. 7.
I rolled a 4, so yeah, that's probably a good choice. I rolled max
Yep.
damage on my own dude.
Excellent
Using
choice.
your fists. All right. There you go. All right. As your knuckles crash into the head, you feel a palpable slap as he just like his eyes almost go cross-eyed for a moment. Anything else, Cloud?
Nope. I'm gonna stay right there and
Okay,
take
Glitter
it
Bomb, over to
aside.
you.
I am going to, let's see, this one is me. Oh, I've got the wrong. That one's me. So I'm going to, I'm going to basically like cup my hands together, form that ball of black chaotic energy, and throw it at this fellow here for Chaos Bolt.
This is Pilo right here.
Oh
Yeah,
wait, no, I don't want to attack Pila.
Gotcha.
This one then.
Okay, as you draw the blackened energy into your hands, your furs kind of seem to coil, and in a burst of glittering light, it flies forward. Go ahead and roll your attack. That is a hit.
Awesome.
Thank God.
So that is going to be, let's see. Is that double sevens?
It is double sevens. As the arcing energy, what is 7 for the damage type?
Oh, I have that right here. 7 is psychic damage.
Psychic damage. As it flows in and kind of raptures around him, you see his hands go to his head and he begins to scream into the evening air. And now you roll, and it has a chance to jump to the nearest hostile, right?
Well, the next hostile within 30 feet, which I think is
Yep.
going to be this guy.
I believe you are correct. Yep. As it swirls
Okay.
around, he screams in the air and then lurches from his body into the night behind. And it's another attack, right?
Yep.
Okay. And it slams into this other knightly-looking plate-clad goblin unexpectedly. Go ahead and roll your damage. Don't tell me. Okay. That's big damage, though, as it courses into, and it's the first die, right?
It says
do you-
either.
You choose either? Okay, yeah. Go for it.
I am going to actually stick with that first die though for thunder damage.
Okay, as it rocks into these coiling white light waves erupt from the first goblin and shift in the air into invisible concussive blasts that blow through. You see the wind and the blast actually knocking the hair around as this goblin like crouches down to the ground. His armor is almost blasted off, and there's not much left to him as he looks wide-eyed in fear at the source of this arcane onslaught, as Glitter Bomb practically rips through 2 lines of goblins, taking us to Pio's turn. Sorry, I missed something up here for a second. Give me a minute.
So that first one, just to make sure, that one is total 15 damage for the first one and 18 damage for the second.
Wow.
Because it's the 2d8 plus 1d6.
2d8 plus 1d6?
Mhm.
Gotcha.
Please say you dropped at least the axe one.
Still standing. The night,
Aw,
the other
man.
night, as
Oh,
as a concussive blast rips through the night, the shards of broken plate just fly everywhere as it is blown back a full 20 feet and flattened to the ground and does not move. Falls perished.
Nice.
Pio kind of looks over her shoulder for a moment, regards your scarf, Muse, and are you going to? I'll let you use your action if you want to continue to try and persuade her to turn on her own. And given the circumstances, I'll give you advantage on it.
I'm gonna try because otherwise I'm pretty sure she's gonna strike me down this turn.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm going to attempt to persuade and say, everyone's got a chance to flip their coin just once. This is your chance.
All right, roll your.
You want to remain a nameless goblin, or do you want to take a chance and become something greater?
Go ahead and roll your persuasion check with advantage.
Oh,
She slowly
come
turns her
on.
attention from you back to her companions ahead.
Oh,
You see her loosen. She loosens the battle axe with a blood-curdling scream. What was the name of the bandit group? Was it the Crimson?
blood scarves.
Was it?
Yep.
The Blood Scarves.
Blood
And she
scarf.
yells, "For the Blood Scarves!" And overhead she runs forward, making a beeline towards the closest former colleague as her battle axe crashes down towards it.
Wouldn't it be the guy with the axe who just took a swing at her new captain?
Oh, you're right. You're right. He's still alive. Yes. Sorry. She's not going to take an opportunity attack. And she wheels around. Same description, different dude. And
Oh, I should
hits.
have rolled higher charisma at this point.
And as she just wheels around, she kind of moves forward towards you and then spins 360. And the bulbous yellow eyes go wide for a brief moment before her battle axe cuts clean through the neck, felling the goblin, dropping it to the ground, unmoving.
Oh,
And then she turns to her other companions and screams, "Blood Scars!" And then continues to run forward to the other. The goblin just kind of like jockeying left and right, shifting its footing, uncertain of what to do, and that will take us to Drogon's turn.
Drogon raises his hammer, but instead of trying to swing it, he just points it at the. I pointed at the goblin spellcaster over there. Muse, we cut off the head, and the rest will fall. And I cast Guiding Bolt. Where did my character sheet go? I'm going to use my inspiration on this, though, too.
Muse is at 2 hit points. He nearly got his head cut off.
Oh,
So give me a quick sec here. I just messed up my initiative real quick. Do. Guiding Bolt. That is a hit on the on the enchanter, right? The
Yes.
robed figure, I should say. We don't know if he's an
Yes.
enchanter. That's a hit. And 17 radiant damage.
Correct.
Wait,
19.
4d6 on that?
Was it 4 or 5?
Wait, what level did you cast it at?
First level.
Is it 4d6 at first level?
Yeah.
Oh,
6 radiant damage.
That's
1d6 for each slot
crazy.
above that.
And it's that's a cantrip? No.
No,
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 first
not
level.
at all.
Sorry,
That's the
sorry.
first
I was gonna say, like, that can't be right. Okay. All right. As the crackling white energy cascades down from the sky, following your arc, as it slams into the ground, leaving a burning scorch. The hissing sound of the of the robed figure. As the white light clarifies or dissipates in the air, you see just scorch marks and his cowl blown back as he begins to bring his hands together.
Sorry for my.
Yep.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, it is.
All right.
Yeah, go for it.
For my bonus action, we'll cast Sanctuary on 2, 3, and then I will get in front of him.
So you cast Sanctuary.
So Sanctuary is a bonus. It's my last first level spell. It's my bonus action, and
Yep.
it will protect him. Anybody who tries to attack him has to make a Wisdom save or choose to attack somebody else.
And that was on whom, sorry?
On Muse.
On Muse. Okay, gotcha. All right. There we go. There's our sanctuary symbol. Okay. And then you moved up?
Yep.
Nice. Okay. And that
Thank you.
that will take us to your turn, Muse. As the shimmering protective energy of...
Sorry, again, Muse, cut off the head. You get a bonus. I think you have an advantage because I hit... this spellcaster's all lit up now with radiant light and is making it an easier target.
Right.
Okay. Muse is gonna follow. I'm gonna follow Drogon's lead, even though my first indication is save my own or heal myself. I'm going to arcane weapon fire. The last word. So flames start shooting out of the barrel.
Okay.
I'm still holding my chest as I'm bleeding out. I'm like, friend, I promised you I'd have the last word. Here it is. And if I missed, dear God, this is gonna suck.
Click clack, the hammer pulls back.
Oh!
Nice.
As flames envelop the muzzle, sending the projectile forward with breathtaking speed. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Bye-bye.
Muse, bring him down.
Wow.
Describe your kill.
I'll hold the barrel to line it up with the spell thrower's head, and the last word, friend, is goodbye. Bang.
And with that, there's not much left in the hoodless cloak as the body of the enchanter flies back, skidding against the grass, still crackling with tendrils of flame in the wake of the last word's fury.
As a bonus action, can I aim the revolver at the remaining goblins? You have a choice, friend. Join or die. And hope to God I scared them enough.
Go ahead and roll. You know what? You've already used your actions for this, so I'm going to.
Sorry, I wasn't sure if I could pull bonus.
You can call that though, and you definitely menacingly issue the last threat that you have. His eyes are widely kind of darting back and forth, but it's Cloud's turn. Cloud.
Uh-oh, I think she can't hear
Cloud,
us.
can you hear us? I was like, she's very carefully, like, your options are fairly limited, but she's carefully considering them. I don't know if, do we lose
Hopefully
her?
she's getting online again.
Yeah.
I still want to say that is the most badass crit I have ever pulled.
That's a great one. We are going to have to rest, though, because I don't have anything to cure you with anymore.
I don't even know how to get her attention. She's in real time for sure. I don't think she realizes we're talking to her. Everybody wave at Nikki.
Nikki.
Okay.
Hi,
Did
Nikki.
it again.
Could you hear us?
And here, the second, it's I could not hear you guys at all.
I didn't.
Weird.
We figured. Are you good now?
Nope.
Yeah, I'm just trying to.
Okay. She is.
Hey, technical
She's
difficulties.
carefully plotting the gruesome demise of this last goblin. That's
Oh
on
my
the-
god.
Let's have a moment of silence for that poor guy.
Let's give her the space. Let Cloud work.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
gonna be-
It did it again. The stupid Discord thing. did
Discord
it.
just dropped on you. Did you have to
So
come
I
in
had
through
to go and
the browser again?
I'm on browser again. Yeah.
God.
Yeah. I might not app anymore at all because this is be happening.
That's so weird though. It's only ever happened in this slot. I wonder if it's just volume at the time. But anyway,
Oh,
let's kill some
I don't-
goblins. Did you
Okay.
hear what Muse had done though?
I heard, yes, he took down.
Yeah.
That was amazing shot.
And then he issued
I don't know what happened after that.
So he issued an ultimatum to the last remaining goblin. Muse, do you want to reiterate that for us?
Gonna give you two options, friend. Join or die.
And now it's your turn. This goblin's kind of snarling, looking back and forth, unsure what's happened. Its companions are dead, and it's facing down the great axe of its once former superior. What do you do?
I'm actually going to run way over here.
Mhm.
And I'm going to raise my short sword.
Mhm.
And just, I'm actually going to hold off and say, so, friend?
Okay. Go ahead and roll a persuasion check or intimidation check, your choice, with advantage for me.
What did I do? Say, actually, oh my god, I'm good at both. Go persuasion.
All right, as you, it looks back and forth towards you both. It kind of slowly looks towards Pio, and Pio's just snarling, almost frothing at the mouth. She's like, your choices are not very good. And this goblin just starts to back off. Drops its blade, turns heel, and begins to run away. Pio yells into the air, and just drops her hands as this goblin, in a burst of leaves, into the
And
woods.
He go warn anybody?
Pio turns over and looks at you and says, he'll never make it on foot. Looks around to you, slaps the great axe in the loop on her back. I like my new friends.
Like you.
As the sounds of combat quell, leaving you centered with the bodies of your fallen foes. As the scene of battle goes quiet. Well, I'm not going to clean up this dump. I'm going to get my things. She nods at you, Muse, and she just kind of starts to march off towards one of the tents.
Hey, wait up for a moment.
Yeah?
I'll take my red scarf off, which is now stained with a little bit of my own blood, and tear a section of it off and offer it to her.
Oh. Just like that?
Just like that, friend.
She takes it gingerly and ties it around her maw.
Your coin was flipped and you chose. Welcome.
It's a little tight in the back. She fastens it into a knot. Fits like a glove. A face glove. Kind of considers it for a moment, and she just nods to you and slaps a gauntleted chest to her rusted plate armor and continues her cant towards the tent.
I'm going to then collapse against a wall.
The last of your energy and barely maintaining your life force, you suddenly are all aware that Muse is quite badly hurt in the moment.
I run over to, I stop maybe 4 feet shy, and I look like I wanna. Maybe I don't. I pace around him.
I'm gonna turn to Jogan. Help? You help? I point at.
Do for him today. He'll be better with a little rest, though, I think. Won't you, Chiron? And I kind of nudge you in the shoulder. So what happens? Little Gabi meets up with the real blood scarves.
Well, friend, let's just say, well, I was the first and I'm the last, so hopefully she won't have no trouble.
Well, you got some explaining to do. If you're resting, you might as well talk.
I kind of expected that.
Why
Good
are you
pretending.
so good at this?
Good pretending. It's
Ah.
still, I'll just kind of nod at Cloud, like good pretending.
I kind of
No stuff.
lift up the last word and release the fire on it, so the flames that were belching out of the cylinder expire, and I just let the gun fall to the ground for now. And I kind of sigh and, well, I'm sure you all know most tieflings have a choice between two names: the name they were given or the name they chose.
Oh.
I chose to drop that. I chose to leave Chiron behind and took on Muse. A friend of mine, she's the one who gave me the last word and helped me choose a different path. I kind of just look at the gun again and kind of sigh, and I wasn't a right respectable person for a while, and honestly, she probably should have turned the gun on me instead, but she chose otherwise, and I figured I can give people the same option.
I
You can
think that
choose.
is always a good option.
You can choose to be bad, or you can choose to be good. Everyone's got that choice. Same side of the coin.
I'm just gonna kind of, my face is kind of screwed up in confusion. Used to be bad. Points at Muse.
Muse I kind of look at Glitterbomb, and I'm not looking very proud of this fact, and anyone who's looking at Muse can tell that. Yeah, little one, I wasn't good. I chose otherwise.
I'm down. I get close to the gun. I'm sniffing at it and kind of pushing it around on the ground, paw a little bit, and I look up at Muse. Or have slaved, or were you ever really bad to people? Protect themselves?
Answer the question, lad.
Muse. I'm not looking very proud of myself. I had a code. I'd only rob. Do my best not to hurt it unless my hand was forced. Occasionally, I had to, but I figure if I can help out the lady who made the last word, I can at least balance out my book a little bit.
So no slaves.
Nah. There are certain lines even I wasn't crossing. Blood scars were more about the robbing and the pillaging than the slaving.
Friend, good now?
I'd be right hoping so. She went missing. The shop was destroyed, and she left the last word behind. And figured I could do my best to try and find her. And hey, you know what? Maybe at least I can take a little bit more out of the book.
Not bad anymore.
I nod. Be right understanding if y'all don't want to travel with me, but I'm still going to see this through to the end.
Come on. Not everyone is... I don't know that there's anyone that's proud of their past. Can't change that, make it something better. That's why we're out here, isn't it? And I punch him on the shoulder again. Nobody else would Nobody else wanders out this far unless they're looking to make a change.
You think people can change?
Well, be if I can change or if I can't change. I'd like to at least make sure I settle up with the girl before my coin comes up on the other end.
I clean
gonna-
feathers now.
Yes, little one, you can fix yourself up.
I'll chirp happily and start rummaging through my stuff to get my water skin. Try to clean up a bit.
Give the gun another shove in the dirt.
I'm gonna let Muse rest up and take a look around this little campsite or whatever, this little goblin village, and see what's around here. See if there's any clues as to where what they were doing here, or where Devin might be.
As you turn your attention back to the camp, the flap kind of swings open as Pio steps out, sheepishly looking with her arms kind of filled with leather sacks and a couple of grain bales. And she looks at you. She pauses. She says, they can't take it with them, right? And she looks at Muse. She's like,
not where they're going.
We're good with this, right? This is okay. Blood scarves do this.
Darn right.
All right.
If there's a little bit of ale there, I'll take it.
And that's where we'll end our session for tonight.
Oh.
Right on.
So we'll start next session with the looting of the bandit camp. The goblin camp. Wow. Truly
Almost
peeling back the
almost died.
layers. Yeah, learning a little bit more about Muse specifically at the end of this grand charade. So, yeah, wonderful. Let's head back to talk a little bit about the session. We'll do our intros and we'll do some shout outs in chat. Thank you so much for joining us. If you're still in chat tonight, do toss us a follow. Check out our wonderful cast. Ryan at Dads and Dragons. Do you have a Twitch channel? I want to give you a shout out here in chat before we switch.
No, just check us out on Twitter, or go to dadsanddragons.com to download the podcast, or find it on wherever you get your podcast from. Perfect.
Awesome. And we'll jump back into that. Let's go to wrap. Whoo. Session 3 sessions in. Beautiful intensity. I'm loving it. I'm just here for the ride. So Muse, I'm going to start with you to take us out. What do you think of all that?
Feels, friend. So many feels.
And feels. That third session bonding. Yeah.
It was a blast. Thank you.
It's pretty clutch at moments there. I'm always blown away with how you as a team kind of navigate all these situations. You tend to get the rolls to back it up too. Yeah,
when we need them. Yeah,
that's right. Some interesting play back and forth between Nikki at Chicken Lee Nerd as Cloud and at Pleasant Doom as Glitterbomb. How did you guys feel about the session tonight?
That was great. I almost died. That was
could have gone so much worse. To wandering off and doing something on our own just seemed like a bad idea from the start. Wow.
Yeah, left to our own devices.
That's right.
We're nearly dying. Oh my goodness.
Cloud is not savvy enough for this kind of stuff.
I've never played in a game where somebody started a game of tic-tac-toe with a bunch of goblins.
That's right. Taught a couple of goblins how to play tic-tac-toe.
And they didn't play very well, though.
No, they were bad sports too.
Yeah, I think they kind of cheated there.
I thought they were going to get
You
to the cutting.
saved my little toy.
That's right.
You know what? I was thinking a way that Cloud would let somebody victimize you like that. There's no way. Let that happen. So
yeah, and Glitterbomb was just willing to give it so that you wouldn't get hurt.
That's very sweet. I'm digging this like kind of protective, almost sibling-esque thing that's blossoming between Cloud and Glitterbomb. That's neat.
I like Muse's answer to Cloud's question because that could have gone
Uh-oh.
why,
just-
but it could have gone.
We just dropped
We,
out.
we
It
lost
could have
you for a
gone-
second.
Try again, Nick.
That could have gone poorly.
Yeah.
The wrong answer was given.
That's right. There were a few moments where I
Uh,
think it could have gone a little sideways. That makes
Yeah,
it fun.
and in the chat, you were saying that you were worried that Glitterbomb was gonna cast that chaos bolt at you.
No, bits!
That's nuts. That's the second time you've used Chaos Bolts that it has chained like that. That's great.
Yeah.
It's a great spell. When it hits
I
good.
love that spell. I love that spell so much.
Big time.
Thank you for
Drogon
saving my butt.
at Dads and Dragons, as Ryan is Drogon. What was going through Drogon's head as you were kind of navigating your way through Bridgetree and beyond?
Oh, I enjoy the unexpected things that happen. Like I was pretty sure that if anybody was gonna get us into trouble, it'd be Drogon messing around with them on the armor stuff, whatever. I didn't expect Cloud to almost start a fight and have us have to fight the entire thing. So yeah, she surprises me every session so far.
Nice. Then you all pretty much shredded through those goblins in the camp at the end, including the big bad in this part.
Yeah,
of this
that was
phase,
awesome.
This act
Just
of the
gonna-
campaign, we'll say.
An amazing shot.
That
Oh,
was awesome.
Yeah, that was
And,
a pretty good closer.
I am very much glad that Muse saved my bacon, saved my feathery behind.
But that could
Play
have
it.
been a lot more damage.
play of the
Indeed,
game
it
goes to rope.
did.
Yeah.
Play the game rope.
Hey,
That's amazing.
I'm also glad I thought to make sure that her rope was very clearly on her person.
Yeah, some pretty clutch moves with those infusions as well. Well, we always have a really great time, of course. For me, it's just, man, being on for this ride. Honestly, I feel like it's a joy because when you have a group that has chemistry like this and plays the way that you do, it keeps it intriguing. And it doesn't matter how much prep I do, I'm never really quite ready for how these sessions play out in the best kind of way. So thank you very much for making yet another Wednesday night. Let's talk to chat. Folks, if you do have any questions or any thoughts in chat, now's the time. As we just wind down here, ask any questions you have of our players as characters of the play, the campaign. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what we do here on DMsGuild feature showcase. Of course, we are playing through an adventure called Scourge of the Nightingale. It's a 3-part adventure written by J. Corvin Stevens and JVC Perry. It's available on the DMsGuild Marketplace. So if you like what you see and you want to play through this adventure yourself, go ahead and grab it. I guarantee you it'd be wildly different. I do different writing than you might do. It's a great little setup for an adventure. You can play really in any setting, though ours takes place in the Forgotten Realms setting of Faerun. So we're having a lot of fun with it. Let's say hello to some of our regs. Josh, first of all, thank you very much for the 1,000-bit cheer. Party 1,000. Indeed. Much love for this crew and much love for you, Josh. Thank you. Always a pleasure to have you swinging by. We have a lot of new folks coming through the channel as well. The Plastered Dragon, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the Checkmates. Thanks for supporting the stream with your follow and your attention. Much appreciated. We've got BK Voorhees. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the Checkmates. A great community filled with RPG aficionados, friends, and gamers of all walks and sorts. So welcome. You're in good company here. This is the part that we really enjoy because we get to kind of get back and forth. I mean that if you have any questions, please do feel free to post them. If you like the show, definitely throw us a follow. You can check out all these wonderful Twitter handles so you can follow the folks. And with that in mind, while we wait for a couple of questions to come in, if you have them, let's go around the table and do those introductions. Nikki at Chickenly Nerd, tell the folks where they can find you online and what you do.
Chickenly Nerd on Twitter and Instagram. Nerdy Chicken is my page on Facebook, and nerdychicken.ca is website. You can also get there with .com. Have them both.
Hey, nice.
So
all the domains.
Nice.
that's right. It took a while to get that, but I got it. He tried to get a lot of money out of me for it, but I was like, no, I'm good. I got it for $14.
I bet.
Nice. And your shop has all kinds of neat stuff.
It
Yeah.
has so many great things, and like I said, we're getting some more artists. We've already got some really great artists in there. Think we're moving towards doing a bit of merch maybe, so that we can a little money to the artists even more. Just bomb by and check it out.
Fantastic. In between, I'm going to do another chat shout out really quickly. We had James and Michelle. James met on Twitter, another great RPG community member who gave us an offline follow. So we'll give you your online props, James. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the Checkmates. Happy to have you on board. Always a pleasure. And with that, let's move to Dads and Dragons. Ryan, tell us a little bit about yourself and where the folks can find you.
Yeah, find me on Twitter mostly, or check out dadsanddragons.com. It's just a list of our podcast episodes. We just are wrapping up season, and next we're headed over to the land of Theros. I just picked up that book on D&D Beyond today, and whenever the actual book gets to my shop, then I'll head down there and pick it up too. But
Awesome.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I think they pushed to July 21st as a hardcover release.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad you grabbed the D&D Beyond one. I've had my finger on the cart for a while, and I wrote about it the other day. So I guess, and I said I was going to talk about it on stream on Saturday. So
yeah.
I'm going to have to pull the trigger
let's
eventually.
talk about it.
I'm excited about it. So I'd be happy to hear, what your thoughts are. That'd be awesome. Definitely let me know what you think of that. And those
I'll be reading it all tonight.
If you're watching and you're into the land of Theros, you're learning about that god tier content from Wizards this week, let us know how you feel about it. Let me see, do we have any prep? Who does prep? Yeah, I prep. Sometimes it doesn't matter, but I still find it fun.
How much do you prep, Brad? How much time do you spend on prep?
I usually prep about 3 hours for every hour of gameplay, and it depends on how much or if any map making is involved. I do a lot of kind of like descriptive writing as much as I can. So, but that's where that's a big part of the joy for me. I know there are DMs and GMs on both sides of that fence, but I love the prep, so I kind of take my time with it, and I stream that too on Saturday. So, I enjoy it a lot. But yeah, everybody's got their flavor, right? Everybody does it a little bit different. Let's talk to Pleasant Doom. Angela at Pleasant Doom. Tell us about yourself.
I am at Pleasant Doom on the Twitterverse. I am one of the hosts of Dungeons, Dinings, and Dorks, and you can find that pretty much wherever you find your podcasts. And we talk about all kinds of geekery and just have a lot of fun talking. And food. We talk about food a lot because we're foodies too.
And why not? Why not? What I always say, I like that tagline, geeks gotta eat, right? So
yeah.
You feel free to use that, but you have to pay me five Canadian cents every time you say it.
I don't have Canadian cents.
Well then forget it. You go ahead.
I'm
working my way through.
That's
They're
awesome.
Great.
That's awesome. Yeah, nice. Collect all these great podcasts. I'm gonna have to do some commands for you folks for all the great things that you do too, and give you your props in chat too. That's amazing. And let's round it out once again with Dustin at Just Drawn Radio, another command performance, and just some really great party chemistry. Tell us a little bit about yourself, the wonderful things you do, and where our audiences can find you online.
Of course, you can find me at Twitch at Just Drawn Radio. Obviously, by that you can tell that I do a radio show about comic books, nerdy art. I often do talk about mental health and why some people need heroes. Occasionally I write. I actually have some good ideas to write Muse's history. I may take that on this weekend. As always, I have a blast with this. Thank you for having me.
Of course, the pleasure is all mine, truly. And of course, my name is Brad, aka Shambazzle Games, at Shambazzle Games everywhere on the internet. You know about me, you're watching the channel. I do have a new stream schedule coming out. I managed to coerce my wife, who was tremendously supportive, to join me on stream on Mondays. So we got a new show called 2Play, where we're going to get together and play couch co-op games on the PlayStation 4 until the 5 comes out, hopefully soon. So check us out. Throw us a follow. Like we said, follow all these wonderful people. And my next stream will be Bedtime Stories, which is 10 o'clock to 11 p.m. I just play video games online tomorrow. But the big one, my flagship, is Saturday at 11 a.m. for Speaking Common. We do the Dungeons & Dragons weekly news. We do lots of back and forth. It's fully interactive. It's a bit more of a talk show format, and I'll be doing some game prep this week as well because I do have a couple of more games starting. So we're going to probably do a little bit of Lost Mines of Phandelver prep in Roll20 because I've got something big coming up for the community too. So stay tuned. And with that, we'll wrap a little early tonight. Clearly, I need to time my sign off a bit better. But it felt like a good beat to end the session on. I'll keep an eye on that. But why don't we take...
We would have gotten in more trouble if you didn't.
No, it's
Yeah,
good.
I believe so. But I'm going to make you wait till next week to get the spoils of war. Cheers, 50 tiny bits of sprinkle. Thank you very much again for the bit cheer. Josh, always a pleasure. Such a great supporter and wonderful friend of the stream. So we'll have to make sure I did throw Josh a shout out too. So be sure to throw him a follow also. While we've got a little bit of time, what say we raid? Who wants to raid? Let's pay it forward. And as we continue to grow, actually, I forgot to announce this, but I've just joined a really great stream team that is founded by the crew over at How I Nerd. They are wonderful, wonderful folks. They do a lot of really tremendous things, and they are alive right now, thankfully. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Let's pay a little love to the crew at How I Nerd. I hope you'll join me for this raid. It'll be short, quick, and snappy. They'll greatly appreciate it, and they'll give you some shout outs too. So be sure to tell them when you get there.
It's awesome.
Absolutely. Yep, good friends of ours. Because I can't do two things at once, I have to stop talking while I type. Please do join the raid. When you get in there, spam love from Shambazzle Games. Let them know where you came from. Let's do this. Go ahead and jump on the raid, gang, in 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thanks again from Shambazzle Games. Please join us for another stream. Happy gaming. Be good to one another. And we'll see you next time right here for another episode of Dungeon Masters Guild Future Showcase. Good night.
Night, y'all.
Yes, hands.